President Moon Jae-in travels to the eastern Russian city of Vladivostok next week for the annual Eastern Economic Forum. The highlight of his stay in the city will be his first summit with President Putin. He'll also hold talks with his Mongolian counterpart and could possibly sit down with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Our Hwang Hojun has more.
South Korea's top office has confirmed that President Moon Jae-in will hold summit talks with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin next week on the sidelines of the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok.
President Moon has been invited as one of the guests of honor by President Putin. The international forum focuses on the development of Russia's Far East region, and this will be President Moon's first visit to Russia since his inauguration.
The president will fly out from Seoul on Wednesday morning. Soon after his arrival, Presidents Moon and Putin are expected to discuss ways to increase bilateral cooperation, including developing Russia's Far East, as well as resolving the North Korean nuclear issue and establishing peace on the Korean peninsula. The two leaders will also hold a joint press conference and sign key agreements and MOUs. Later in the day, President Moon will hold a summit with Mongolian President Khaltmagan Batolga on similar issues. On Thursday, President Moon will have a luncheon meeting with Korean nationals living in the region as well as Russians of Korean descent, and then deliver a keynote speech at the forum, where he will introduce his, quote, new northern policy, which seeks to reinforce economic cooperation with Russia and other nations in Eurasia. President Moon is also expected to hold a summit with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the sidelines, but according to the Blue House, the details are still being ironed out. The presidential office underscored that next week's trip is significant as a chance for Seoul and Moscow to enhance their cooperative partnership on the basis of mutual friendship and trust. It said closer ties between the two can ultimately lead to the collective development and prosperity of Eurasia. Hwang Hojun, Arirang News.